Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Favorite Albums Through the Decades. Today, we are tackling none other than Black Sabbath, and we've got in the co-captains chairs, Mr. Rich Catino, Mr. Chris Allo. What's happening, fellas?
What's going on, Pete? What's going
on,
Rich?
How you doing, guys? We've got the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and we're going to lump the 2000s all together. So I've asked everybody to take a look at all the releases in each of these decades. We got some good ones, right? This is not very easy, but got to make some picks here. So I'm going to have Rich kick us off with the 70s. Then we'll go Chris, myself, and we'll keep going round and round.
Okay. So my 70s choice is Sabotage. As much as I want to go with Master of Reality and Paranoid, because love those too. But this one has two of my favorite Sabbath songs on it, Hole in the Sky and Symptom of the Universe. I think Symptom is probably my favorite Sabbath riff of all time, I think. But, still other great songs too. Megalomania, The Thrill of It All, The Writ. Master or Paranoid, but yeah, I have to go with this. I think this sounds better than those other two as well. A little bit of a better sound on this album.
It's a great album.
Yeah, no, it's a great
record. Eight songs, solid. I think it's I always liked it. Like I said, it's hard when you got two of your favorite songs on that one album, and then the other two, I've heard them so much, and I'm really tired of Paranoid and all those. I love Children of the Grave. Master was a classic, obviously, but yeah, I'll take Sabotage.
Cool. Can't go wrong with that. We know Chris is going to pick Never Say Die, right? So.
It's true. It's in that decade.
Isn't everybody?
That's funny. Yeah. No, I'm going the record that changed my life, Paranoid. Yeah, it's played to hell. Yeah, I've played it a million times. Yeah, I mean, there's like 4 songs on the record that still gets played on the radio, but that's my, like I said, the record that changed my life. So no other record, did that. So I got to go with Paranoid.
When you listen to it, do you skip the ones that you've heard a billion times, or do you just let it play always?
I just let it play. I probably like side 2 more than side 1 because I've heard everything off side 1 a million times. But yeah, I just let it play, because if I was going to skip stuff, I'd probably skip most of the record, because it is played to death. But the
only one on side 2 that's been on the radio is Fairies Wear Boots.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And in recent years, I've been hearing War Pigs on the radio, which years ago you didn't have. And now, again, Fairies Wear Boots is another one that in recent years, on WPDH, once in a while I'll hear Snowblind. Like, well, you guys, years back in the 80s, it was only Iron Man and Paranoid, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. It's all considered classic rock now.
Yes.
Not even heavy metals.
Sure.
Even though it is heavy metal, it's considered rock.
But, classic rock now is, Master of Puppets, which in the 80s was not getting played on the radio. So it is.
That was really heavy at the time.
Yeah. That was the gimmick. This was too heavy to get played on, too long and too heavy to get played on radio. But right now it's all classic rock.
Yeah, Paranoid changed my life too. I don't listen to it as much anymore, and when I do want to listen to it, I still enjoy War Pigs. Paranoid, I never need to hear again. I was never a big Planet Caravan fan. Iron Man, I got to be in the mood for. The rest of it, I still can listen to and really enjoy quite a bit. But my choice is Volume 4. Just my favorite Sabbath album.
I still got to listen to this more.
That's good. Yeah.
And now it's time to buy Sabotage again.
I know, right? Jesus, it's right around the corner. But yeah, I mean, there's some classic songs on here. Snowblind is perhaps my favorite Sabbath song of all time. Supernaut Kills, Tomorrow's Dream, Wheels of Confusion, Under the Sun, so heavy. I never need to hear Changes again, but the rest of it I just absolutely love. Just a really different kind of experimental album from them, but it's still pretty heavy. Love it. That's my choice for the 70s.
That was when they were starting to get a little weird. Yeah, Changes. I hate that song.
Yeah.
Out of all those 70s albums, what's the best sounding one for you guys? Not, just the album, just the best sounding one.
Produced?
Yeah, just curious.
I think either Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath or Sabotage.
I prefer the first three because they have that roughness, that rawness that they lost later on. But Sabotage is probably their best sounding as far as being polished but still heavy.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, off to the 80s.
All right. So I really should pick one of the two that you guys probably picked, but I chose not to just because this one is so great and I always loved it. And not enough people pick anything from this era. So I went with Hellish Cross.
I love that album.
Yeah, it's a
As
great
much as
record.
I love Dio, love, him and Rainbow, love him at Sabbath, love those first two Sabbath albums with him. But I'll give this album some love because it needs it. And Tony Martin was a great singer. And I love there's a lot of great songs on this album. I like the melodies in them, still great riffs. It's still heavy. It's still dark, but it's got a lot of melody. I like the choruses. So Headless Cross, Devil and Daughter, When Death Calls is awesome.
Yeah.
Kill in the Spirit World, Call of the Wild, Black Moon I really like, and I really like Night Moon too. It's great. One of my top 5, I think it's probably my top 5 Sabbath albums.
Yeah, it's a great record. It's one of those ones that just, I just think the timing was wrong,
Yeah.
But over time it's aged really well.
Yeah.
My favorite Tony Martin album.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I think for me, Eternal Idol, I think edges it out a smidge.
Really like that too.
But Headless Cross it's a great record.
Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully it's part of those reissues.
Yeah, that we're, I mean, listen, he's coming out with everything else, so
yeah,
hurry up. Just put some good bonus shit on there. If you're making us buy all the stuff again, just make it worthwhile.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Which he seems to not be doing with Sabotage.
Just remastering it is not enough.
No doubt.
Yeah. Yep.
No doubt.
Well, I think I know what Chris is going to pick.
Yeah, this is easy pick for me. My all-time favorite record of all time is Mob Rules. I mean, Sabbath did an amazing run of records in the 80s, ending with Headless Cross and starting with Heaven and Hell. So it really was a tough one. But yeah, Mob Rules for me. That's my number one.
I'm going to go to the start of the decade for Heaven and Hell for me.
Nice.
I
like how we're all picking something different.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I mean, I love this album. I love Mob Rules too, and I love Born Again. But the first one has always been my favorite. Even though I think maybe start to finish, I think Mob Rules might be a little stronger. But I think there's songs on here that I just like more than anything on Mob Rules. So that's what it comes down to. But great Martin Birch production on here. Ronnie sounds amazing. Just such a powerful album. So that gets my vote.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with any of them.
Yeah. Now to the 90s. Here's where we may all pick the same one.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah, 90s was a little bit of an easier pick, I think.
Well, what is there? 3 albums? 4?
Tear, Dehumanizer, Cross Purposes, and Forbidden. So 4, yeah.
4. Right. Okay.
And one of them's a complete shitter.
Yeah. So there's really 3.
Yeah. So
Right.
3 choices.
So, Dehumanizer.
Yep.
Return
of Ronnie and Vinny.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's why I picked Headless Cross too, because I knew I was taking this one from the 90s. So figure Tony Martin, because I was going to flip it. I was going to do Heaven and Hell, I think. And then I was going to pick Cross Purposes because I like that album too. Yeah. But Headless Cross is much better than Cross Purposes. So I said, let me flip them. And then I'll pick Dehumanizer for the 90s. So Computer God, After All, I really love that one. Letters from Earth, Master of Insanity, Time Machine is great, nice and catchy. Too Late and I love them. Always in my playlist, those 2 songs. So yeah, Dehumanizer. It's a really heavy, angry album too.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, very doomy.
Yeah, that's my pick as well. I mean, I read something recently. I can't remember where it was, but whoever the author was saying that he thought Dehumanizer was the single heaviest album in Sabbath's catalog, and he could be right. I mean, it is a really heavy record. I think it was a great comeback record. It's a shame that things fell apart, but still holds up. It's a great record. It's a heavy record. It's not quite, when I remember getting it, it's not Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell Part 3, but it's a killer album.
Yeah. Yeah. The songs aren't quite as memorable, I think, as those two albums.
Yeah.
But it's quite good. It's my pick as well. Just some great stuff on here. I mean, I is like as good as anything on those other two albums, I think.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of really great songs on here. And yeah, heavy, like they were trying to prove something and then just couldn't keep it together, unfortunately. But good stuff. So the 2000s, lump them all together. What do you got?
How do we work that, by the way? Because I think I might have picked something by default, and I don't know if it fits. You know what I mean?
If you're counting The Devil You Know as a Sabbath record, which I totally would.
It is, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's two albums to pick from.
Right. Even though it's under the other name.
Right.
So I thought you guys were going to say I was pulling a fast one. By default.
You're not pulling Catino on this one. Although you could have went with the greatest hits, because there is three that Dio album. There's three brand new songs on there.
Yep.
That's right. But those are on the bonus tracks on the Japanese versions.
No, right. I'm talking about the Black Sabbath, the Dio
years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm looking at the track listing, and The Devil Cried, Shadow of the Wind, and Ear in the Wall.
Oh, okay. So that's on a Japanese version of that.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Which I never thought those were great songs on that best of anyway.
They're okay. They're not bad.
But I like this album better than 13. Don't really like 13. It sounds very, I don't know. They lost the energy, I think. Feels like it to me. I mean, I just prefer Dio as a singer, I think, for Sabbath as well. Even though I like the Ozzy era, I prefer Dio. So what do I like on this? Fear, Bible Black, I thought was great. That was the single. Double the Pain. The only one I really don't like on this is Rock and Roll Angel. I think is total dud.
Yeah, that's like a shitty Dio song.
Terrible. There's a couple that could have fit on like Angry Machines though, I think, on this album. They feel like Angry Machines or maybe Strange Highways a little bit. Yeah. But Follow the Tears, Neverwhere is good. Eating the Cannibals. Yeah, I like this one. I think maybe Adam and Evil is not the greatest opener. Another song that I'm kind of on. So yeah, good.
Cool.
I'm taking the opposite. I'm taking 13. I mean, I like The Devil You Know, but I didn't like that. To me, that record is so, as a whole, is so slow and doomy, because I like the faster Ronnie material, like Mob Rules and Neon Nights and Die Young. And to me, there's not enough on there of that kind of material. I remember asking Ronnie about it when I interviewed him for that record, and he's like, that's just the way the songs came out. So that's fine, but I just think 13, especially 13, has a lot more tracks. Yeah. Especially if you get the version that has the double disc with the extra material. I just felt 13 was more varied, and Devil You Know to me was just a little bit too much of a slow pace. So I mean, they're both great records, but I'm going 13.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I like The Devil You Know. I think it's good. It is need a little bit of variety. I think the great Ronnie sounds great, but I ultimately went with 13. I wind up listening to this more.
Same.
The two of them, right? End of the Beginning, I think, is a great track. God Is Dead is great. Age of Reason, Loner, Damaged Soul. And then you got the extra tracks, Methodemic, and
which is a really good track.
Yeah, right. And they played a couple of these live, and they sounded really good. And some people didn't like the production.
Yeah.
And they felt that.
I didn't really like the production either.
Yeah, I don't mind it too much, but I kind of get what people are saying. And a lot of people, the same complaint that we heard about The Devil You Know, people are like, well, Sabbath's not really doing anything different. Do we really want them to do anything different? It sounds like
to do a rap record.
Yeah, I never understood that whole
Black Sabbath.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of people that shit all over the fact that Bill Ward wasn't on the record.
And I get that.
Yeah.
But you know what? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'm happy we got a last album,
yes.
Ozzy in them, right? I mean, so So that's my choice.
Yeah, because we're probably never going to get anything else. It always cracks me up when the people online are like, oh, yeah, they should do one more record. Or when Bill Wood recently was like, oh, I'd love to do a record with. It's like, God, well, you're all in your 70s, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Like, that ship has sailed, man. You guys are done.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah. So there you have it, everybody. Favorite albums of the decades for Black Sabbath. So in the comments below, please list your favorite release from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s, just like we have. It'd be interesting to see what everybody comes up with. I want to thank Rich and Chris for joining in tonight as we finish up the month of May with this special series that we've been doing all month long. We got 2 more days to go. So Iron Maiden and Rush to finish it all out. So I want to thank everybody for watching once again. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. For Rich Catino and Chris Allo, I am Pete Pardo. See you all real soon.
Thanks, guys.